Did you know that dreams might be the only portal to your subconscious and that it might be able to explain almost everything about you? That is what Freud thought. Him and Jung, Carl Jung, were two very influential thinkers and some of the founders of modern psychology. And their entire careers basically made a point out of that dreams are something that we create and that they always, certainly almost always, have meaning. And today I'm going to talk a little about that and what it might mean for you. Uh, so if you are interested in learning more about dreams, let's get going. Basically, Freud in the early 1900s and late 1800s wanted to learn more about the conscious mind and the subconscious. He was a neurologist, so what he did, since there were no MRI machines at the time, he turned to his clinical practice. And he realized that, the only way he thought to penetrate someone's mind beyond the conscious was through their dreams. And basically, what he said that was that since dreams are obviously a creation of the mind, that it is an action that you do. And since it is an action that you do, you sort of create this vision or tale or whatever. And that means basically that it is a wish per definition. And of course, you might wonder, how can a nightmare be a wish? Well, one of the ways in which a nightmare can be a wish, according to this idea, is that you long for the excitement, perhaps. So if you survive in the nightmare, it's sort of all good, right? But you want the excitement. It might also be, some sort of guilty conscience that you want to be punished, and that is a desire within you. Because according to Freud, your subconscious is brutally honest, right? It has no reason to lie. However, in the translation to your consciousness, it censors itself. And you need to be very skilled to understand what the dream really means. So he set out to create a very systematic theory of dreams and wanted to create like basically a manual or a large database of dreams and what they meant. Him and Carl Jung talked a lot about this, and they worked together until 1912 when they split apart, because Freud was the kind of guy that he was very dominant and domineering, and if he had an idea, he wasn't really wanting to debate that idea, right? Which is, a problem, because when you are a person that is obviously very highly intelligent, and he came up with very, very good ideas, and a lot of what he says is considered like groundwork for today's modern psychology, and a lot of it hasn't been critiqued. Freud has gotten a lot of critique, but that's because he came up with so much stuff. And basically, this critique is a testament to how influential he really was. Jung continued his entire life working with dreams and their symbolism. And basically, Jung said that you can't really make a sort of manuscript for dreams, because you have to take the person in context, right? Jung talked about this in one of his books, where he explained that the same dream can mean different things for different people. He had two patients with the same dream, where they were both men. They were riding bareback on a horse, no shirt on, with their friends, and they came to a river or a ravine or whatever. And when they jumped over, only they themselves made it over, and their friends fell in and died. And one of these two patients were a young man, 17 years old, and it basically showed his wish for wanting to prove himself and go through this ritual of becoming a man. Whereas the other person was an old man in a wheelchair who had been to war, and this dream was symbolic of his time in the war, where he regretted, doing all of this and living through this, because all of his friends died, and he ended up in a wheelchair. And so dreams mean different things for different people, which mean that you can't really use like ChatGPT or whatever to interpret your dreams unless you feed it a lot of your personal information. You need to either come to insight yourself, know yourself very well, but also in conjunction with someone who understands dream interpretation a lot. And I actually believe that it is a very fascinating field of study, and I intend to learn a lot more about it, even if it's not used in modern practice. I find it incredibly interesting, and I think some people sometimes can come to great insights with using their dreams as a method of understanding themselves. That is all I have for today, and welcome back tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. Please do. Please.